everyone, and welcome to my YouTube series on Your Erasmus in Vilnius. What you can expect, what it's going to be like, and a little bit of my experience sprinkled in between. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be gladly answering all of them. So now, enjoy! So, what is Vilnius? Well, Vilnius is the capital city of Lithuania, which is a country in Europe on the top eastern part of it and has an approximate population of 500,000 people. And the flag of Lithuania is actually quite noticeable, with its very noticeable colors of yellow, green and red, symbolizing the sun, the forest, and the people who thought and protected Lithuania. But Lithuania actually has a second flag, which is a white rider on a black background, which dates all the way back to when it was still a duchy, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and is actually the oldest flag still in use in Europe. Lithuania is a country with pretty harsh winters and pretty mild summers, meaning that in winters sometimes you can get temperatures up to -20, if not -40. I think -46 is the lowest ever recorded. But in general, it will be -10 and start snowing about mid-November. So if you're thinking about going to Lithuania for your Erasmus or for vacation, do think about layers. Layers are incredibly important if you want to stay warm and healthy during winter. However, I do think it's worth it because the winter wonderland-esque views are incredibly beautiful. That is not to say that their autumns and springs and summers aren't as well, because I think their autumn is my favorite. Seeing how the entire city just turns yellow with the huge amount of trees that are there. It is an incredibly green city in my opinion. But what is there to do in Vilnius? Well, actually quite a lot. If you're going for culture, if you're going for art, partying, fun, entertainment, there will be something for you there as well. If you want to get a taste of the local culture, be sure to go to the summer markets that are there at the beginning of September. So when you're probably going to arrive for your Erasmus season, there'll be a huge array of pretty much every weekend a different market where you can get traditional snacks, food, and if you're lucky, see a traditional dance performance of the Lithuanian traditional dance. Hi, Edit Nani here. I forgot to mention there's actually also a lot of concerts that in the beginning of the Erasmus season, so September, will probably be every weekend once in a while. So be sure to check the website for any concerts that are coming up. Even during COVID, there were concerts held when I was there, so check the official website in the description down below. A thing I made a lot of use of in Vilnius was the Old Craft Workshop, which is a craft workshop where you can learn all the traditional crafts from the Lithuanian culture, such as leatherworking, ceramics. You can learn how to play old games from the Vikings. It's a great way to get closer to the culture in which you're pretty much being immersed. Between you and I, it's an incredibly cheap way to get to learn new skills, so I highly recommend it either way. If you like going to museums, Vilnius has a wide array as well, a lot of history and art museums especially, but I also really recommend the Museum of Illusions. Note that every Sunday you'll have free access to all government-funded museums, so this being the Gediminas Tower, which is pretty much the icon of Vilnius. You'll see it everywhere, even the logo. The Museum of the Grand Duchess of Lithuania, the Clock Tower, and much more. There's even days where you can have free activities and enter the presidential palace for free, so keep that website in mind. Eating out in Lithuania is, compared to other countries in Europe, really cheap. So you're probably going to be going out a lot to eat. A restaurant I went to a lot when I was in Vilnius was Edno de Varas. Please don't bash my pronunciation. Which is a traditional Lithuanian restaurant which serves a lot of potato-centered dishes, such as the, I wouldn't say world famous, but the Lithuania famous cepelini, which is a dumpling with meat inside and a crackling sour cream sauce on top, which I think is my favorite dish of all time. And potato pancakes, potato sausage, a lot of potato. A place I studied a lot at was Crustum, which is a little coffee shop where you can get the best cinnamon buns in town. And where I ate a lot with my vegan friends is Rosehip, which is a chain of 2 restaurants currently in Vilnius where you can eat the best vegan food for such little prices. I generally paid about €5 for a meal without drink, so you'll probably be eating out quite a bit. When it comes to shopping, I think Vilnius is about average, if not a bit lower, because Vilnius does have shopping malls like Acropolis, which is the largest one in Vilnius, but it doesn't really have a shopping street or that cozy shopping street you might know from German cities or Italy. It is, however, in my opinion, the absolute best city ever to go for vintage shopping. You'll be hard pressed to find a Humana or a secondhand store further than 15 minutes away from you. And first one, the Humana, which is the biggest chain of secondhand stores in Vilnius, also has a lot of days where there's discounts. So you'll get clothes for €1 a piece, €2 a piece, sometimes even 50 cents a piece. It really is almost nothing. So highly recommend to check these out. I got this sweater there. I've got pretty much all the clothes I bought in Vilnius there. Good stuff. But I think what a lot of Erasmus students are interested in is going out. Can you go out? Can you go dance? Can you go have a drink with friends in Vilnius? And the simple answer is yes, definitely. Under a survey I did under students that were there at the same time that I was there, they noted that they enjoyed the nightlife out of all other activities the most. Place that I think all Erasmus students in Vilnius go to is the Plus Plus Plus, which is a little bar in the city center where you can get pretty cheap food, pretty cheap drinks, and we pretty much always met up there before going out and going to the clubs like Salento and Mirage. I think those are the 2 main ones. Those also have special nights with different cultures, such as the Spanish night and Italian night, and you'll hear music from all these countries during those special nights. So it's a great way to exchange culture in that way. So if you're looking for a city that's generally cheap and great with nightlife, Vilnius is probably the place for you. There's also going to be activities that are organized by the school or by a separate entity called ESN. For me, for example, ESN helped organize the introduction days, the goodbye party. They organize dinners, they organize dance nights. They also oftentimes fill the role of a mentor. So if you're having troubles with the language or with the culture, you can oftentimes go to them and they'll help you. They're usually also in the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp is the main communication form that international students tend to use, so be sure to get that on your phone as well. But if you're not that much of a party person and you like to be alone more, you like to be in nature, Vilnius is actually a great place for hiking. Vilnius has a central park where you can sit with friends, relax and have a walk, but there's also a larger natural park and a forest surrounding the city. So if you're more into hiking, taking long strolls, these places are probably going to be where you'll be spending a lot of time. There's also a lot of set out hikes. So for example, my favorite one was the one with the chapels, the chapel hike, where you go through different chapels with frescoes of the suffering of Jesus, which combined art and hiking, which are 2 of my favorite things together as one. But that is definitely not all. There's gonna be game nights, there's gonna be fun with friends, organizing your own parties, all the good stuff. So whatever you're in for in Vilnius, for your Erasmus or for a short trip, I'm sure you'll find whatever you need in the city of Vilnius. See you there. Bye!